Hi everyone, it is Cinco de Mayo, so today we're going to taco about math right now. Hey guys, this is Mrs. Boyd Live and I'm Mrs. Boyd, and today we're going to do a lesson on order of operations. But before we get to that, let me remind you to subscribe to this channel and please ring that bell so that when I drop a new video, you'll be alerted that it's just come out, and I am always live on there to comment with you and to answer any other questions you might have about the lesson that we just did. Today, we're going to learn about PEMDAS, which is order of operations, and it is really a basic foundation for anyone who wants to be successful at algebraic equations. And we'll be designing some of those equations around our theme, Cinco de Mayo, today. So get your notepad out, get a pen, because we're going to do a lot of it on our notebook today. Let's get started. All right, the first thing I want you to do on your piece of paper is at the top, just put out PEMDAS. And what this is, above that or below that, you can just put order of operations. Now remember, as far as the operations in math, there's only four operations you can do. And that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And there is a wide variety of operations we can do. And oftentimes, remember, we use different symbols in algebra, and I'll show you one or two of those today. But right now, we're just going to talk about PEMDAS. Now, a lot of people know the good old acronym. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally to remember what the order of operations is. Have you guys heard of that one? Have you guys heard of any other ones besides please excuse my dear Aunt Sally? I know my students have a lot of different ones, but you could see the first letter of each of these words makes the acronym PEMDAS. And what that gives us is the order. But within PEMDAS, there's also another thing I want you to be aware of, is that either of these can come in order from left to right. So this one represents parentheses. And parentheses mean you do this first. The second one represents exponents. Exponents is a number like 3 to the second power, which means 3 squared or 3 times 3. So an exponent is also something you would do first. So if the 3 square appeared before this, you would do this first before the parentheses. So it's in order from left to right, these two, parentheses and exponents. The next one's self-explanatory. M and D stand for multiplication and division. A and S represent addition and subtraction. And remember, you do that in any order it appears. If the division comes before the multiplication, left to right, you would do the division problem first, then the multiplication. So maybe you have 12 divided by 3 times 2. And then you would have to do the division before the multiplication problem. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 2 equals 8. And that's order of operations. So we're going to use some word problems with this today. You guys might notice my little cute piñata ceramic thing. We had a piñata for Dalton's birthday, and this was a leftover candy. So let's talk about having piñatas. Let's make that our first problem. I'm going to tell you this problem, and I want you to try to take notes on it right now, but then we'll look at it in writing as well. Try to take notes on this, okay? Here we go. The piñata, okay, we are having 3 piñatas. Each is going to be filled with 43 candies and 24 prizes. 8 pieces of candy and 2 prizes fell out of one of the piñatas when Jensen was trying to hang it, and 9 candies fell out of the other 2 piñatas when he was trying to hang those. The question is, how many prizes and candy do the 3 piñatas still contain? Let's write down some of those numbers on our notebook. I think before I start solving this problem, I'm just going to draw a picture of these piñatas. So let's get the piñatas drawn here. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. There's one piñata. Here's 2 piñatas. This one's going to be an avocado piñata because that's actually what we had for Dalton for his birthday. And the third one will be an ice cream cone piñata. There we go. And inside these piñatas, we heard there were going to be 43 candies and there were going to be 24 prizes in each of these. 43, 24 in that, 43, 24 in that. I'm not using any math symbols yet. I'm just trying to get all the numbers down. Now we know the first piñata, when Jensen was trying to hang it, 8 pieces of the candy fell out, 2 prizes fell out of this piñata. And then on these 2, 9 candies fell out of those. Now using PEMDAS in order of operations, how would we figure out how much candy is left in all of the piñatas? We're going to make an algebra problem for this. Why don't you go ahead and stop the tape and try to do it on your own first. All right, this is what my algebra equation would look like using the PEMDAS theory, or using PEMDAS order of operations. First of all, I see there's 43 plus 24. The question is how much candy and prizes are still in, so we don't need to distinguish between the two. We can just add the 43 plus the 24 to find out how much is in each piñata, and then we can use parentheses on that and multiply that 3 times. So this is another way of writing the operation of multiplication, is by putting it right next to a parentheses. And this is showing us that we need to do what's in the parentheses first before we multiply. Remember, parentheses and exponents come before multiplication and division. And the next thing we want to do is we want to add that up and multiply it and then subtract how much things fell out. Now, as you can see, 8 things fell out, 2 things fell out, and 9 things fell out. So we can add all of that together and then subtract it from the total. So we can just say 8 plus 2 plus 9 and subtract it. So that is what my algebraic equation would look like. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video again and try to figure that out on your own. All right, so let's start solving it based on PEMDAS. First, we want to do the parentheses. 43 plus 24 is 67. And then we want to multiply that times 3. So 67 times 3. You can do it this way too. That's how I would do it. And you've got 18, 20, 201. And then we have 201 minus 8 plus 2 plus 9. Remember, we have to do what's in parentheses first before we subtract. So we have 19. So 201 minus 19. 11 minus 9 is 2. And 9 minus 1 is 8. And 1 minus 0 is 1. So altogether, we have 182 candies and prizes in the piñatas. There's our answer. Remember to label. Labeling is important. All right, so, we can't do a taco about math without talking about tacos. We can't talk about math without doing a taco math problem. So that's what we're going to do now. Now try to take your notes as I'm reading this problem and write it down for yourself, okay? I am going to order tacos tonight. Dalton and Jensen like chicken tacos, which are $3 each, and they're each going to eat 3 of them. Dave and Peyton like shrimp tacos, which are $4 each. Dave is going to eat 2, Peyton will just eat 1. And Mama Boy I'm going to have a steak taco, and those are $4.50. Can you add those up using an algebra equation? Let's write it on our paper. So the first thing we need here is a menu. Let's remember how much each item is. This is our taco menu, okay? Oh, I'm getting so hungry for tacos. And the chicken tacos, I'll just put C for chicken. Those are $3 each. Our shrimp tacos, I'll put in SH for shrimp. Those are $4 each. And then the steak, which I'll put in ST, those are $4.50 each. And so that's kind of my menu. And remember, I was telling you that Jensen and Dalton both like chicken tacos, and they want 3 each. So what that means is they want 3 tacos. There are 2 people. And notice how I put 3.2. This is another way of writing a multiplication operation when you're doing algebra. So I'm going to put that in parentheses and multiply that, 3 tacos times 2 people times $3 for each taco. So that means 3 times 2, 3 times that. And then I'm going to add to that, remember we had Peyton wants 2 tacos, Dave wants 1 taco, and their tacos are $4 each. So we're going to put 2 plus 1, that's how many tacos they're going to eat, and it's times 4. And then there's only me for the steak tacos, so I'm just going to add the 4.5 or the 450 after that. And that's our algebra problem. You can go ahead and pause the film and try to do that on your own. We're going to work down sort of in this upside down triangle. We're going to start with PEMDAS. So we want to do the parentheses first. We have the 3 times the 2 is 6. So that will end up being 3 times the 6. And then the 2 plus 1 is 3. So that will be 4 times the 3. You could put it that way or that way. You're going to add that together and then add the 4.5 after that. You want to keep bringing down all your numbers so you don't forget anything and leave something out. So be really meticulous about how you want to write this. Notice I wrote that in 3 different ways. 3 times 2, 3 times 6, 4 times 3. All of that is right. All of that is correct. It's 3 ways to write a multiplication problem in algebra. Now we're down to this line, so we're going to start PEMDAS and say we next do multiplication and division from left to right, working our way left to right. So we have a multiplication problem here, multiplication problem here, addition, addition. We need to do these 2 multiplication problems first. So 3 times 6 is 18, plus 4 times 3 is 12, plus 4.5. And now all we have left is 2 addition problems. We want to add those up from left to right. It really doesn't matter because, as you know, it's commutative property. You can add these up in any order you wish because it's all addition. But let's go ahead and do it from left to right just because it helps us to keep everything organized better. So 18 plus 12 is 30. Plus 4.5 is 34.5, or as we know, this is money. It's going to cost me $34.50 to buy tacos tonight for Taco Tuesday / Cinco-de-Mayo. Okay, everyone, I hope you took really good notes today on PEMDAS, order of operations. I hope this is just a review for you or a reminder of how to do order of operations. If it was new for you and you have questions, make sure you put it in the comments. I can help you out. I can give you some more problems to work with. And just remember that order of operations will be very important foundational skill all the way up through your math classes. So have a good Cinco de Mayo. I hope you get tacos soon. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.